What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and today we're going to be taking a look at this beast right here. The next World Boss Legend Tier 3, Mephisto. And I gotta say, first of all, guys, I think Mephisto looks spectacular. I love that damn evil grin that he's got going on his face. It is great and reminiscent of what Mephisto really is. He loves to tinker and toy with everybody in the Marvel Universe, which is pretty damn cool. Now, he is at level 60. I'm just going to end up grinding him and trying to realize his potential the old-fashioned way. Right now, I'm actually ranked 300, so 390. So it's actually not too bad, especially considering my build. I thought maybe more people might actually have him, to be perfectly honest. I know he's expensive, but by this point, a lot of people are already playing Null, can acquire, can do the 5 clears against Mephisto. So it kind of surprised me that I'm at that rank, but okay. But when you look at his details, he has max attack speed, 35 crit rate, 160 critical damage, 47% ignore defense, max skill cooldown. So these are far from optimal stats. Far from optimal stats. He has no Urus, level 20 gears. You guys know how I like to do it. And just to put things in perspective for you guys, he costs just as much as Null. It costs him about 8 million gold to level him up. It costs 3,100 CCF. A lot. And I'm probably going to end up using CCF whenever I increase his potential, because I actually have such an abundance of that crap from fighting Null all the time. And this is where it gets really, really interesting for Mephisto. His tier 3 has stun, silence, incapacitation. It has all defense down. It goes up to 70%, my friends. 70%. With a debuff leadership, that is going to be insane. Then he's got a 30% recovery of max HP, which is nice to have a heal in his tier 3. He's got ignore target dodge rate by 70%, which is also nice, especially for Null. He's got penetration, good for PvP. He has invincibility. He has 20% increase of all attack. I'm actually surprised he doesn't have a debuff removal on his tier 3, although if you have his leadership going on, if you put him in the leadership, you don't need it. And then he gets a 20% increase of all attack by 9 seconds, which is actually really good. That 20% increase of all attack can actually carry on to your other skills because it does at least last for 9 seconds. His passive gain demonized devil effect upon starting. So applies itself, increased skill damage by 35%, bonus damage by 30%. He decreased damage received from reflected effects by 70%. That is PvP all the way. Effect reflect all attacks. Decrease all damage received by 40%. So he's got heal. He's got decreased damage received, penetration, of course. That's pretty normal for a lot of characters, especially in their tier 3s. And then he reflects all attacks. So it doesn't matter if they're energy or physical. That's going to make him pretty meta. Now, this is pretty damn cool. So they incorporated in this new update these arrows, which I think is pretty freaking nice. So basic is when he's just regular Mephisto. He isn't in his demon form, or the Phenom, if you want to call him that. But in his basic form, he deals 30% burn damage every 1 second, and he removes active buff from target. Very good for PvP, and this is only on a 3.5 second cooldown. So keep that in mind. Low cooldowns is always a hint to PvP. And then on the second one, it's pretty much the same, except he gets a little bit more fire damage, and he doesn't have the remove active buff. On the second skill, it's always going to be the same, and the second skill actually has ignore iframe. This is actually pretty damn amazing. Whenever you're fighting, and even for PvE guys, like when you're fighting in PvE and, say a character goes into an iframe, when you hit the second skill, and you should use the second skill in your rotations, he goes into an iframe himself. So he can always hit them no matter what. And then on top of that, because he can ignore iframe, he can actually paralyze the regular world bosses. Now this won't work in the World Boss Legend, but man, if you're playing him in regular world bosses, this is insane. So if Ebony or Thanos, well, it's not Thanos in the last 2 phases, but in the first 2 phases, if they try going in an iframe and you hit that second skill, you are going to take them out of their iframe and you're going to paralyze them, which is awesome. It's freaking cool. And then his third skill, and this is a big dog here. So in his basic form, you'll always get 4 seconds of invincibility, and you'll get the increased damage to super villain faction. So only against super villains in your basic form, and you get the fire damage by 100%. And then in your Dark Awakening form, or your Phenom form, whatever you want to call it, the monster form, you also get the 4 seconds of invincibility. So you always get the 4 seconds of invincibility every time you hit the third skill, but you get the increased damage to superheroes when you're in the monster form, right? By 30%. So when you're facing superheroes, to have this up, you're going to do a lot more damage. But in all reality, to have that up, you're going to do more damage, period. And we'll explain why here in a second. And then effect cannot be removed for 600 seconds, which is the duration of a world boss fight. And then everything else looks pretty much the same. Then we go to the force skill. And this really is unique to Mephisto. I mean, he's the only character that has this kind of effects. I mean, yeah, there's like hidden ones like Captain Marvel. When you hit her binary form, you know, she'll start doing energy attacks, whereas before you hit the binary form, she'll do a lot of physical attacks. But this is taking it to a whole nother level. And it's only fitting to do this for Mephisto. So in his basic form, he deals 40% burn. It's the same on the Dark Awakening form. He has stun and fear. Again, same on Dark Awakening form. But then he has an all defense down, goes up to 50% in his basic form. But in his Dark Awakening form, which is what they said in the live stream was going to be his PvE form, he gets even more all defense down, up to 60% instead of 50%. So already more all defense down, but here's where it's really at. You see the all attack by 30% on the basic, right? On the basic here. All attack by 30%, crit rate buff by 10%. Look at this thing. Whenever you're in Phenom form, or when you use the third skill and he's a monster, you'll get a 50% of all attack. Wow, 20% more all attack. And he does get all speed on a 7-second cooldown. So you don't need Power Vanguard Hawk for this guy. Actually, you're going to run with Overdrive ISO Wave Set because you don't need that attack speed. You'll be able to keep that up pretty much all the time. And then this skill, on the fifth skill, he actually deals 50% burns, the same on both basic and Dark Awakening. He has Mind Control in his basic form, and that's the PvP form. And he Mind Control 3 seconds damage received increased by 20%. So it kind of reminds you of Rachel, actually, where you're going to be able to do more damage, the more damage you take kind of thing. And then he has Incapacitation, which removes active buff from target for 5 seconds. Very powerful for PvP. And then he does have the 8% decrease of fire resistance, which is going to help him do a little bit more damage as long as they don't have a debuff up. And then he gets the accumulation on 20% of damage regardless of defense and dodge rate stats. So, and he also has a heal for 3% every 1 second. Insane heal. True damage accumulate cannot exceed 50% of HP. I mean, he's just not, it's massive, guys. And he's got a similar thing to Jean Grey, where the more damage he takes, the more he's going to heal when he does this skill. So, yeah, that definitely signifies PvP. Look at Jean Grey. Look at how strong that effect is on her. On her, it's her third skill, but this is massive. And then PvE-wise, when he's Dark and Awakened form, he's going to have the fire resist that goes up to 50%, right? It's 40% on basic. He's going to get immunity to all damage, which means he can't be debuffed when he's using that skill. He's going to get a 15% recovery of heal, so a little bit different kind of heal, but nonetheless, still a heal. And then he gets a damage accumulation, right? 0.8%. And you think 0.8%, well, that's not as high as +1 or +1.2 or +1.5, but honestly, he's pretty freaking insanely strong. And then his passive gives him a revive of 90% whenever he dies, which is pretty cool. And then his leadership is very interesting, and I'm actually going to be using it today. Applies to villain allies. Activation rate when debuffed removes all debuffs, and then increases fire damage by 30%. So this is actually really good for him because it's a self-buffing leadership. Whenever he gets debuffed, he's going to remove all debuffs, and he's going to get an increased fire damage by 30%, increasing his damage. So I've been toying with him quite a bit. And I can tell you that if you're playing with a proc, the third skill will trigger the proc. So if you're standing far away and that it doesn't hit them like what just happened there, it won't trigger the proc. Now, when you hit the third skill again, he reverts back to his form. So this is your PvP form, and this is your PvE form. Now, I haven't tested PvP. I will. This is going to be just solid PvE. I really want to get him up to level 70, put some Urus on before I take him into PvP because he's going to be going against a lot of monsters, a lot of Reforce TTPs, and I don't think it's fair to take him in there right now. So I just wanted to see what he could do in PvE. But the fifth skill, look at this thing. That's pretty dope. And then we revert back. I like how he holds out his hands and he reverts back. It's pretty cool. And then the fifth skill, he has the hands, right? Pretty cool. And by the way, guys, even though this form here is like the stronger version as far as PvE, The other form still does insane damage, which you will see. The Force skill in demon form here. Nice. And then when you revert back here, it's so detailed. Wow. Really, really cool. Okay, the second skill is going to be the same. We'll do the first skill. Rise up. Do the first skill again. You can see the flames are more exaggerated whenever he's in his demon form. The tier 3 will be the same no matter what. Now, something to note about this tier 3. Now, I have the SFX off, but he turns into the giant snake-looking creature. Very, very cool, right? But here's what's even cooler about this. We'll run through our skills. Let's build up our tier 3. Okay? Alright. And by the way, guys, this is the second skill here. It's the one that paralyzes and ignores iframe. Look at this. Iframe, a long iframe. Look at that. That's a beautiful skill, seriously. Now watch this. Flames come out, go into the fifth skill. Now look, the tier 3 still keeps going. That is crazy. That is crazy, my friends. That is crazy. So let's get out of here. By the way, I love his animations. I think they're absolutely beautiful. Now, something to note is, on his 4th skill, he gets the all attack by 30%. Actually, he gets it by 50% whenever you're in demon form, right? And then on his 5th skill, he gets the damage accumulation. Now, this is very important, whether he's in demon form or whether he's in basic form, because having that accumulation is going to allow you to do a lot more damage. And playing with a proc, you know, I was tinkering around and I'm not really sure if I got it worked out completely, but it looks like you really want to hit your demon form, hit your 3rd skill first, and then you want to hit your 5th skill, kind of let the flame come out, and then go into the 4 and put the proc on the 4. And it seems like you do a lot of damage. And whenever you're using the tier 3 with a proc, now I think with a rage this is going to be different, but with a proc or with a judgment, by the way, there's something else nice about him is you can use a judgment on him because he has all flame damage. And I think a judgment's going to be better, especially if you have a lot of pierce on your account because of the chain hit damage. And now I know a lot of you don't want to hear this, but now that you can reforge the CTPs of judgment, it's going to really make him just that much more powerful for PvE. Don't know how well he's going to do in PvP with a judgment, but in PvE it's definitely going to make him insane. Even if you don't reforge it, he's still going to be nutso. But whenever you use a tier 3 with a proc, I think it's really best. And I test this quite a bit. I think it's really best just to hit the 5 to get your damage accumulation and then just go straight into the tier 3. Now, I actually did it once where I did the 5 and then I did the 4 to get that 50% attack and then go into tier 3 and the damage is nutso. It is insane. But a lot of times that proc will trigger very early. It's very inconsistent when you do it that way. So I prefer just to go 5, tier 3. And then afterwards, I'll kind of hit the 2nd skill and then go into the 5-4 again. You'll see what I'm doing here in a little bit. He has a fully awakened overdrive set, and this was so cool. Funny story about this obelisk. I actually was re-rolling a bunch of obelisks, and I actually was trying to re-roll this judgment because that's what I was originally going to try it on. You see, it's only got the damage proc by 100%, and I was like, I re-rolled this. I only had 5 obelisks. I re-rolled it 5 times, didn't get nothing. Then I made a fire damage obelisk, rolled it once, and I got this 200% damage proc. How crazy is that? It was meant to be, my friends. And I'm actually going to keep this obelisk on him. And whenever I get him at level 70 and I get him Uru'd up and all that, get him buffed up a lot, I'm just going to keep this obelisk on him to see what he can do against Null and Mephisto himself. But right now I can't because it's just level 60. And of course, no uniform. So if we go into World Boss and say we go against Ebony, yeah, we're definitely doing stage 99. Sorry, buddy, not right now. And I'm just going to use his leadership, okay? Now, in all fairness, if you do use Ghost Rider's leadership here, you do get the increased fire damage by 30%, and you'll get that crit rate, but you'll also get that 50% fire damage from his passive, which is 80% fire damage, which is actually better than having 30% fire damage at times. But we're just going to go ahead and use his debuff leadership. Now, against Ebony, you really don't need to do it. I'm just going for this, just doing this for fun, but you really don't need to do it because you actually have the paralysis. We're not going to use any strikers. I really do love this color thing too, and I got a little surprise at the end of this video for all of you as well. So hopefully this third skill doesn't trigger the proc. Okay. And there's the 4. Now the 4 triggered early. We're going to go ahead and hit this 2 skill. We paralyzed, oh boy. Okay. There we go. Then we're going to paralyze him again. Now watch this. And boom, shakalaka. Now I'm going to go ahead and run. Get out of there. Look at the damage, my friends. And by the way, I have no Urus on him. Now, to be fair, now you see what happened there? Every time you switch your character, you actually have to revert back to demon form. He'll revert back to his regular form. And look, we took him out of that attack. But every time you switch him out, he goes back into his basic form, which is kind of a bummer. Look at that. Look at how easy this is. Now I'm going to take him out. Now you don't want to use the third skill again, guys. You don't want to... You only want to use that third skill whenever you... after you switch your character. Because again, he'll just keep reverting back to his original form every time you switch. Okay. Gonna run around. And he's got great movement speed. Look at him go. We're just going to go ahead and paralyze him here. And there my proc triggered a little bit early. We're going to go ahead and paralyze him again. Oh, we got caught out of that. All right. Oh, watch out. Okay. But the 5-4 works really, really well on him. Okay. I mean, look at this. And remember that paralysis lasts for... There we go. Oh, man. I want that paralysis. There we go. There we go. I just want to lock him down. And boom. Easy peasy, my friends. No Urus, regular proc, right? Now, I do have 6% Pierce on my account, right? 6% Pierce. But I'm telling you guys, even when my gears were at level 5, even when I had no ISO weight set, I could easily do this. Easily. I do have 100% energy attack on my cards as well. Now let's take a look at old Thanos here. Stage 71, right? Stage 71. We're going to do the same team, and we're not going to use any strikers. This dude really is nuts. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to try to hit that third skill so we can turn into the Phenom, so we can do a lot more damage. And even if I don't, we'd still do a lot of damage to old boy. And we got a little screwed there. We got a little screwed there. There we go. In the next phase. Okay, that worked out good. Our proc got off there a second ago. Okay, so now we're going to hit the 5. And then the tier 3. That worked out really, really nice. Oh, I don't think so, buddy. Freaking lock you down. And boo shakalaka. Okay. So 45 seconds to do this first little phase. Not bad, huh? And I have no Urus on this character, right? He's still level 60. The crazy thing about this is Mephisto doesn't even have Pierce, right? Oh, man. See, that's one thing about him that kind of sucks is his tier 3 is long. But man, does he got good movement speed. This dude can run. Okay, over here, over here, over here. Over here. Come on, come on, come on. Right here. All right. I mean, look at him go, guys. Look at him go. He's freaking murdering. Okay, don't get hit, 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 don't get hit. Oh man, our freaking tier 3 got off. What's he gonna do? Shit, shit, shit! Okay. What's he gonna do? Here we go. I probably shouldn't have used that tier 3. But I mean, seriously. Now I used that iframe there. That probably wasn't the brightest idea because I just took a lot of damage. And look at that, guys. Look at that. 3 minutes and 30 seconds. 3 minutes and 30 seconds. He did this. Now, again, I do have 6% pierce on my cards, but I'm running a regular obelisk. I'm running a regular obelisk. I have no Urus on this guy. No Urus. That is crazy. Level 60, level 20 gears, no Urus. I mean, I do have about 100% energy attack, and he is an energy-based character, to be fair. But that is insane, guys. I wasn't even using the max team. If I was putting Ghost Rider in the leadership, we would have got a lot more fire damage, and he still would have got it done. I think Mephisto is absolutely amazing, and I actually can't wait to test him in PvP. But the beautiful thing, he's just such a versatile character. I can see that already. Very versatile, and even whenever you have this form that you're looking at right now compared to the Phenom form, he still does insane damage. He still does insane damage. That's the thing that's cool about this. I mean, in the basic form, he's still going to do insane damage to super villains, which is awesome. Mephisto has no friends or allies. He's just against everybody, and this is freaking great. He likes to toy with everybody, and I love that they did this. I think he's very, very unique in the way that they built him. So I am loving the hell out of him, and I cannot wait to get his potential realized and then test him against Null and himself to see how well he can do. But so far, guys, I am super, super impressed with this character. Now for the surprise. So I've actually been playing a lot of Dispatch Mission, and I actually got to 9-2. I might be able to go further, but honestly, it is getting rough. You can see my dispatch level is at 19. I let my phone just play on auto. I was doing, I believe it was 8-3. I was doing 8-3 on auto with Gambit, Odin, and Valkyrie, just letting it play on auto over and over and over. And I ended up getting quite a few boxes. Now, and you know, this isn't a video really about the dispatch, but I just want to just show Netmarble some love because I'm so happy with what they've done. Before I even open these things, I'll show you guys a screenshot right now of me getting a CTP of regeneration and a CTP of energy. Now, how awesome is that? From these boxes, how awesome is that? Now, I know not everybody's going to get this, but honestly, I've never gotten one of those things from anything else. I've never gotten one from World Boss. I've never gotten one from Shadowland, at least I don't think so. No, I got a CTP of Destruction from Shadowland, my bad. I just don't get them. I'm just not very lucky, right? And here I already got 2 of them. So let's see what we get here. Let's do this. Okay, okay. Yeah, okay, that's not bad, but I wish there wasn't a green. Okay, so I didn't get very lucky at all, right? But I did get 2 CTPs already, and I am going to be farming the living hell out of this thing. I mean, you know, it's all RNG. It's all about luck, you know. I really am loving this thing, and I'm definitely loving Mephisto. So let me know what you got in your dispatch. Let me know what you're thinking about Mephisto. Personally, I think this guy is absolutely amazing and definitely worth investing in so far. But the real test will be when he goes against Null and himself. And I do stream on Twitch at Reset Sunday through Thursday. The link will be in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one.